Hello and welcome to another episode of Supercalifunnelistic with me, Christian Rauchenwald. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can set smart goals as an entrepreneur. And on top of that, I'm also going to reveal to you something we call the minimum plan, which will help you achieve your goals with the minimum effort possible. Most of you probably already heard the phrase SMART goals. And SMART simply stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's start off with an example of what is not a SMART goal, so you have an easier time understanding what actually is. When people say something like, I want to be rich someday, it's neither specific, because rich for some people may mean having $1 million, for other people it may mean having $1 billion. And since it's not specific, it also cannot be measured properly. And therefore it's also not really achievable, since you cannot measure when you will have achieved it. Other than that, it may be relevant, it may be motivating and so on, but it still doesn't help because it's also not time bound. So overall it fails 4 out of 5 points that a SMART goal needs, and therefore it is not a goal, which means you most likely will not succeed, because you always will be able to have excuses like, well, someday is not now, some days in 5 years, some days in 10 years. Well, rich was not $1 million, rich was actually, I was talking about earning $2,000 per month. So understanding how to set a SMART goal is actually the most crucial part. You need to find something that motivates you, that is challenging, that you can measure. It needs to be timely limited. So you say something like till the end of next year or within a month. It needs to be relevant to you. So again, it needs to motivate you. You need to really want to reach it. And it needs to be specific. The more specific you are, the easier it will be for you to plan towards your goal, and the more likely you will actually accomplish it. Now that we clarified what a SMART goal is not, let's look at an example of a SMART goal. In our case, for next year, one of our SMART goals is to achieve $100,000 in revenue till the 31st of December. It's specific because we have an exact figure that we want to reach. It's measurable because it's a number, so we can measure our progress towards achieving the 100,000 in revenue. It's achievable because I've already accomplished incomes like that and more. It's relevant and motivating, so we really want to reach it. We already know what we can do with that kind of revenue to grow our business further. And it's time bound because it's limited by the 31st of December next year. Now, in order to achieve that goal, you may simply take your calculator and say, okay, I want to reach $100,000 in the next 12 months or within 12 months. So I'm simply going to divide it by 12, which means you would need to reach $8,333 per month. The problem, however, there is that unless you're already close to that monthly income, you most likely will fail to achieve it in January. Therefore, in February, you will need more than $8,300. Maybe you need $10,000, maybe you need $12,000 to compensate for what you missed in January and get back on track. Now, February is at least 1 to 3 days shorter compared to other months, which will make it even harder to reach that $8,333 during that time. But don't worry, that's where the so-called minimum plan comes in, which I'm going to show to you in a second. Now, why is it called the minimum plan? Because it calculates basically the minimum effort that it takes for you to accomplish your goal within time. For that purpose, you basically distribute your milestones unevenly, so you try to reach more of your goal towards the end of the year and less of it in the beginning of the year, which I'm going to show you right now. As you can see here, our goal is split up into certain percentages throughout the whole year. And instead of trying to achieve $8,333 per month, we are starting off with only trying to achieve $1,000 in January, which we will easily surpass. However, in December, we would need to accumulate a total of $19,000. And unless you are dealing in an industry where people are buying your product or service as a Christmas present, it may be very challenging to accomplish that. But that's the beauty of the minimum plan. The way it works is Based on our recent statistics, we haven't had a month below $4,000 for quite some time now. So let's say we achieve $4,000 in January. What we would actually do is we would enter only $1,000 in January, but we would already enter $3,000 in December, which would already basically take pressure away from the end of the year. Now, as we proceed throughout the year, we obviously are going to aim to increase our revenue by publishing new products or services, by marketing more, by growing our audience, and so on. So there it's then actually about the steps that you take to achieve your goal. And assuming that we manage to slowly increase our revenue, so even if we were to say in February we only increase it by 10% to, let's say, 4,400, we would just enter 2,000 in February because that's what we needed to reach, and we would add the other 2,400 at the end here, making it already 5,400 here. And that's only assuming that our January is a zero increase month and we only grow our revenue by 10% in February. We would have already covered 28 or almost 30% of December as well. Now, the beauty of the minimum plan is that this way you will be able to already take pressure off your goal while you constantly grow your revenue or whatever it is you're measuring your goal in. So if you're, for example, aiming for, 1,000 new Facebook group members, then you would also split it up in a similar fashion. And when you have, or when you surpass your January goal, you already take away parts of what you will need for December. Now, what happens is you are going to be motivated because it's going to be easy for you to accomplish the first couple of months of the year and even surpass the milestones that you've set there. And you're going to be more motivated because it's already going to take away pressure from the goal that you've set for the end of the year. Now, you can apply that minimum plan basically to any SMART goal that you have, and the percentages that you saw on the screen are not fixed, but it's up to you to decide what is a reasonable increase over time. We usually use one of three methods. One of them consists of saying, okay, we want to reach 50% of our goal's value in the last 3 or 4 months of the year, and the other 50% in the rest of the year. Well, there we may also split it up, for example, that we say, okay, we want to reach 25% of our goal from January till June. We want to reach 25% from July to September. And we want to reach the last 50% from October to December. Now, this obviously means that in 3 months we have to do the same amount of work, or in 4 months, if you plan the last 50% from September to December, we have to do the same amount of work or get the same results that we already accomplished in the 8 to 9 months before. However, depending on your goal, for example, if you have a revenue-based goal and you work with monthly recurring membership fees, your revenue is anyway going to grow every month. Now, if you were to set your revenue goal, as said before, evenly split as $8,300 per month, you would most likely fail the first couple of months because it takes some time for you to get there in the first place. And you may already stop or lose your motivation because you failed the first couple of months. By using the minimum plan and splitting it up so it actually becomes something that you can reach along the way, you will stay motivated and it will be more likely for you to actually succeed with your goal. Now that you've defined the monthly value that you need to reach in January, February, and so on throughout the rest of the year, or whatever other period of time that you've defined for your goal, you can simply split it up in how much do you need to accomplish every week and how much do you need to accomplish every day. And based on those numbers, based on the daily required results, you actually then create your action plan. How much or what do you need to do in order to accomplish that? Last but not least, another very important step towards accomplishing your goals is accountability. It's important that you publish your goals in some way so you cannot later adjust them because you see that you may fail to reach them. I encourage all of you to click on the link in the description or in the first comment down below to join our Facebook group and share your goals there, and also share your monthly progress with us there. This is it. I truly hope the minimum plan will help you accomplish your goals just as it has helped me in the past already multiple times. If you have any questions about goal setting in general, about SMART goals, or about the minimum plan, don't forget you can always leave a comment down below. Or as said, join our Facebook group by clicking on the link in the description or in the first comment down below and ask your questions there. Thanks for watching. See you next week with another episode of Supercalifunnelistic. Till then, bye bye.